Hello. I'm going to try and operate my phone from a little tripod I got for phones. By the way, I went to Dollar Tree. I realized I spent like $14 on a clip for my phone to put it on my air conditioner vent to use the GPS. They have them at Dollar Tree for $1. So what the hell did I spend it at all that money at Staples for? I could have gotten like 13 of them, and then the tax would have pushed it over to $14. Oh well. So today it's a rant about why cities criminalize homelessness. If you look in the description, which I'll tell you what I wrote in there, I talk about how I contacted last night a place called the Lamb Center. I found a news article about them saying that they're in Fairfax. And Fairfax is beautiful, by the way. It's kind of boring. It's all suburbs and shopping centers. But this article from like 4 years ago, maybe, I forget, or 2 years ago, said that people sleep in their cars there. They let people sleep in their cars. They let people shower. They help them with jobs, help them get jobs, get haircuts, give them dinners. I wouldn't take food from there. I have money for food. But I would just want to sleep there. They said, due to city regulations, we can't let people sleep in our parking lot anymore. So what the hell is that? What the hell is Fairfax thinking? So instead of having a safe place where homeless people can sleep in their cars because they know people are watching out for each other, it's designated as a place where the homeless can sleep. Well, you just kind of sneak a spot where you can, and if it's somewhere where there's no bathroom nearby, just go over to the bushes or the grass or a sewer grate and just piss there, or just piss wherever you want. Just stand outside your car and piss or shit. They'd rather have that. He goes, "Oh, get away from here, bum. You better get a job." And I saw yesterday around Ballston in Arlington. What do we got in the chat here? Yeah. It's so ridiculous. So people went out of their way to make a regulation saying you can't sleep in that parking lot, or I guess parking lots in general overnight. Or people say, "Oh, not in my neighborhood." Oh yeah, we care about the homeless, but not enough to do anything in our neighborhood. Oh, and we're not going to make it any more affordable to live here too. It's actually going to be extremely expensive because Fairfax is a very rich area and there's not a lot going on, and the police are scary. I used to work in Fairfax. I had to call the police. I was a bouncer in Fairfax. Even calling the police, I didn't like doing it because they were like rude to me practically. Bunch of angry white guys. It's scary. And yeah, it's not every cop. It's not, every encounter with the police, but it's scary that there's enough of that, especially, it's not even the cops. It's just the cops. It's Fairfax. That's the culture of a lot of people, just entitled white people. Angry, chip on their shoulder. Mayor's office can guide you to legal places to sleep? Really? Oh, I'll look into that. I didn't know about that. And yeah, I'm asking, what the hell are people supposed to do? So make it unaffordable to live somewhere, and then when people can't afford to live there, don't even let them sleep in their cars there. So pathetic, so ridiculous. And I was at Ballston yesterday in Arlington. A lot of homeless people stay at there's a bunch of bus stops there. There's the metro stop, so there's a lot of homeless people who like sleep there. It's really sad. Two guys were sitting at the bus stop. I went up to them, talked to them. I actually got them sandwiches too, so I feel I'm not bragging. Like, don't think that. I feel embarrassed saying it. But like, so I asked them, "Hey, you guys hungry?" Went over to Dunkin' Donuts, got them ham and cheese sandwiches and vitamin waters. Too much sugar in those, by the way, but I want to give them something sweet. And I was talking to them, and I say, "Hey, you know about the shelter in courthouse, because there's a homeless shelter there. They have beds and everything. And one guy was doing most of the talking. He's like, yeah, but it's like too much politics or like too much drama or something you got to deal with. I'm like, okay, yeah, shelter's not for everybody. I'm like, so where do you sleep? He said he I don't always know where he goes, but he'll go to the hospital and sleep. So he's got a bad eye, he's got arthritis, it hurts. He's got medicine for it. Sometimes he's got to eat first, otherwise the medicine makes him throw up. And he was saying, and he was very nice. He was saying, thank you for the food, over and over. And he said whenever he needs treatment, because I said, well, do you have a doctor? You go to the emergency room. How's that work? He said, no, I go to the emergency room. So how is this more affordable? Is this really saving us money, just letting people have no option to get medical treatment unless they go to the emergency room? And those bills are way more expensive that the hospital ends up having to pay for, or subsidies or donations, the hospitals get. Those end up having to be paid for, and the bills are way higher than if he could just go to a regular practitioner, general practitioner, doctor, and just get like a scheduled appointment and a treatment. Think about it. Any time you go to the emergency room, it's way more expensive than if you could just have an appointment for the same thing. So is this saving us money? Because we think, well, better. We can't get in the business of, looking after everybody around here. Is this saving us money? A guy going to the emergency room every single time he needs treatment? And he'll sleep there if he can. He said sometimes they let him sleep there, sometimes they don't. Depends. Does this make sense to anybody? Would it really not save money to just have something in place, some system in place where he's got regular treatment, he's got a place to stay? Instead, he's not. It was raining yesterday, it was cold. He's sitting out at the bus stop, miserable. Think about these people's mental health. I remember homeless people in the metro around Alexandria and Springfield 20-some years ago, even as a kid, yeah. Chris, I can't answer that. I don't know. Do you feel like a percentage of homeless don't want to help themselves? I feel like that's the wrong question, because that puts the emphasis on them when, why do we have like around maybe 2 or 3 million homeless people in America? Why do we even have that? It's a lot of things, but it's a lot of things happen. Some people get divorced and go homeless. Some people lose their jobs. Some people get sick, or a combination of those things. Sometimes someone dies in the family and they lose a ton of money, or lose their home. All kinds of things, or a flood, or a hurricane. But we have the money, we have the resources to put people in homes. Instead, it's better. And you know what happens now? Some cities, like hepatitis, breaks out among homeless people. They don't have proper preventative medical care. They don't have safe places to sleep. They don't have regular medical treatment. And so disease breaks out, and now they're trying to keep the medical costs down of treatment for that disease by prevention. So can we get it through our heads that preventing this and having systems in place, not a system, but systems in place to help these people, makes a lot more sense, saves a lot more money, gives us our dignity, gives them some dignity, as opposed to trying to basically make certain areas unaffordable to live in, and then make it so that if you can't afford it, you can't live there. Not trying to make it affordable, because Fairfax is nowhere close to affordable. Yeah, mental illness. Just being homeless can make you mentally ill. That's one thing I realized about living in my car. It's really good to have a sense of normalcy and routine. Where's the sun? Oh, I need my face in the light. It's all cloudy, so it's hard to see where the sun is. Having just a routine and interaction with people, and being around like architecture and buildings and stuff that that feel normal, that helps a lot to just make you feel normal. By the way, everybody click the like button. Yeah, no, I'm asking for likes again. That's how YouTube works. You gotta click like so YouTube will share the video. That helps me out. Appreciate it. Push it to the top of people's recommendations. Yeah, I'm sure it was funny. I almost got I should have told really the woman working at the store. I went to Five Below and I got a oh, I got the tripod for this phone. And she said, what's your zip code? And I was like, I was about to say, I don't have a zip code. I live in my car. But I was like, let me look up my zip code on my driver's license, because I don't remember. I just moved out, but that's, I guess, the still one I technically have. But, man, I got to switch that. Try and do that today. But yeah, I was about to say, well, look, really, I don't have a zip code. Just put right here. Whatever the zip code is here. Yeah, a lot of things you need an address for. Apply for jobs. Well, first of all, get mail, you need an address. So that's a big problem. Barely ate recently, but that's good. I'm glad. I don't know what it is. It was nice. I went to a Hispanic restaurant late last night. I had plátanos fritos. That's fried plantains with a little salad. And it was pretty cheap. But I was stuffed so fast, and it's part because I had a big burrito for lunch with the mad scientist. I bought him lunch. That's all I had to pay him, by the way. He didn't even ask for money. So he did all that work on my car for free. Fixing the SRS, the seatbelt buckle, so it could pass inspection, which my car did. It passed inspection finally. And the headlights, which were fogged up, and so he showed me how to polish those, and he did most of the work on that. But yeah, I got him lunch at a Mexican restaurant. It was a really good place. And I'm looking for a Hispanic place today. I want to practice more of my Spanish. I was looking for the Hispanic newspaper, El Tiempo Latino, in the grocery store today, Shoppers Food Warehouse, but they were all out. So I wanted something to practice my Spanish, but I can read on my phone. It's just I'd rather have a paper there, because my phone, you know, I don't want to drain the battery on it. Let's see, I'll cross right here. And I'm going to go to the gym. I haven't even showered today, but I'm going to go to the gym. That's right. Back up. Whoa. I don't know if it, yeah, actually, I think it's going to rain like tonight or tomorrow. Anyways, that's what I want to rant about. Why would cities do that? And you know, you may have heard, like in Florida. Oh, Florida has some terrible politicians and people and laws. I think it was in Florida, yeah, where certain places they made it illegal to give food to the homeless. And so people were protesting and got arrested. They willingly did it anyways and got arrested for handing food to a person. What are you supposed to do? I guess to get around that law, what you should do, leave the food on the ground and just say, well, I'm abandoning it. Or leave it on top of a trash can, but don't put it inside. And then let the person go over and get it. You're like, well, I'm just abandoning this here. I'm littering. Or just say, I'm putting it in the trash can. Oh, but I missed the actual trash. So it's just sitting on the side of the trash can. But in Florida, great news from there. They legalized, or they passed a law last night on the ballot, which is amazing. This is so awesome. Felons can now have their voting rights restored. And apparently it's like 40% of black men in Florida, something like that. I read a statistic like that. And a lot of them get felonies when they're teens. A lot of them are for drugs or for cases where, you know, they want a plea deal. And the person will plead guilty to avoid a lengthy stay in jail, paying a lawyer, building a case, because the government can just make fighting a case miserable for you. A lot of cases, you know, overzealous prosecution. Prosecutor wants wins, and they don't give a damn if they convict some poor black kid. So that's amazing. Republicans, white Republicans, are scared shitless of people who have been through the hellish system they've devised, and Democrats devised too. I shouldn't even exempt Democrats. Democrats were about as guilty of it, because they were happy to take credit for it too, like Bill Clinton saying with the drug sentencing reform and criminal sentencing reform, he imposed horrible penalties for drug violations, where it's like, and those are used against black people. Like 50% of convictions for drug dealing in America, I believe. I was reading this in a criminology book that's like a year, has an edition that was like 2017 came out, Ethical Dilemmas in Criminal Justice. It said like 50% of all drug dealer convictions are black people. Now, black people don't make up anywhere near 50% of drug dealers in America, but somehow those are the ones that get convicted. So it's partly just if you have a certain amount, it's considered intent to distribute drugs. So if you have over a little bit of weed or a little bit of cocaine, then you're charged with intent to distribute. You're charged as a drug dealer, and that carries with it decades in prison for a lot of places. And Republicans and Democrats too, they're scared shitless of people who have been through the hellish system they've devised now having a say in how that system gets changed. So that is great. They are all running scared. The conservative media is going to be furious about this. They're letting criminals vote. They're going to trot out victims of crime to justify brutalizing a whole population of people, as if you can find a black person that's representative of all black people. It's disgusting. Trump's furious that Muslims got elected into Congress, I believe. That's amazing. To have people who he hates, he doesn't even want in the country, who are now representatives. He's going to be furious that black women got elected. Think about it. And it's going to be a brutal 2 years, last 2 years of his presidency, because now he's going to want to fight even worse. He hates it. He hates when women stand up to him. He hates when Arabs stand up to him. You remember the, I can't remember the name of the family now, but who lost their son in Iraq, and they spoke at the Democratic Convention, and the dad of the son who was killed in Iraq, fighting in Iraq, said, you know, where's your sacrifice? What did you sacrifice? And Trump said, well, I've made a lot of jobs, and you know, I work really hard, and I've paid a lot of people. That to him is sacrificing. I'm just hanging out at the shopping center now, but I'm going to the gym after this. I got a shower. I found a really beautiful, luxurious location of Planet Fitness. Oh my goodness, the showers are so much better than the other one. The other ones were pretty good and clean, but first of all, this place is like 5 times as big, and the showers are beautiful, like tiled floors. They have shower mats outside. Oh, it is so awesome. It is luxury. The showers are more spacious. Oh my goodness, that is luxury. Finally, I can shower more. Like, it wasn't bad before, but this is showering like a civilized human being. Oh, it was awesome. So I'm going to be showering and shaving there today. Oh, I cut my lip the other day shaving. That sucks. I got overeager trying to finish shaving. I slid the razor across my face by accident. And so I put a Band-Aid on here, and the Band-Aid got all bloody. And so I looked ridiculous. Yeah, so what's up, cities that do this? The people in these cities who think it's acceptable to do this, who think, well, I don't want this happening around me. You know, my mom said, like, she was upset after I did that Halloween live stream. And I said, I'm living in my car. She was like, I never thought my son would be like this, would be living in a car, basically, is what she's saying. Nobody tends to think that. Nobody really thinks that. I don't know, maybe some people think that, but of course you don't expect it to happen, and then you realize, or I'm realizing all the things that, like, not all the things, I'm just realizing some of the things that become more apparent to you when you're relying on places that are safe to sleep, you're relying on your car to run well. That's a big concern, and fortunately it's running all right. You're hoping your health doesn't go bad, because it would be awful to be sick. And at least if you're home, you can lie in bed, you can make noise and cough and sneeze and stuff, go back and forth to the bathroom. Right now, like, I wouldn't do that in the gym. Like, I wouldn't sit at a table in the gym, which they have tables, they have leather couches. Oh my goodness, it is so comfortable. And I wouldn't do that there. And go back and forth to the bathroom. So I would be in a nightmare situation if I had to deal with being sick while I'm living in my car. And I don't know how long I'll be living in my car. There's a lot I like about it. I'm spending a ton of money on food. Oh, that was horrible. My credit card got maxed out. I just realized it going to Dollar Tree the other day. So it would have been maxed out anyways. That's the thing, like paying rent and then buying food. But I am spending a lot, but I'm saving a lot too. I mean, I saved probably over $500 on fixing my car to pass inspection. Anyways, I guess I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna head over to my car and then go to the gym because I need to shower, brush my teeth, and shave. I had a little from Dollar Tree can of tuna with crackers this morning. Got to be consistently eat healthy. I even went to the buffet, a Chinese buffet with the mad scientist who was fixing my car because I wanted to give him something nice to eat, and it was really cheap, like $11 buffet. That's amazing. Buffets can be like $17. And I tried to eat a lot of healthy food. I did eat a lot of healthy food, a lot of vegetables and chicken. I also ate a lot of like the sesame balls and little breaded pastries covered with sugar. So I got to cut that out. But I'm exercising real well. By the way, for all you wondering how to avoid having to go to the bathroom at night, I figured out sort of the combination to do it, I think. So like last night, I did not have to get up and run to the bathroom. And if I had to, I would have gone in a Gatorade bottle. So I bought a huge Gatorade bottle today, just in case that happens. But what I learned the combination is, for one thing, you got to eat food, because I drink a ton of water and go to the bathroom when I don't eat, and then I'm just drinking water constantly. That's one thing. Then exercise, so sweat out some of that water, and that's pretty much it. And then go to the bathroom before you go to bed. That's pretty much it. It's really easy. All right, saved so much money on my car. That was incredible. We really need a movement, and there are people doing that. This guy, I think his name is Lee Carter in Northern Virginia. I think he's running for something in Manassas, some government position, and he's talking about like this move from this company, I think Micron, or something, like a big computer company, or I forget what they do, but they're going to bring like 1,100 highly advanced jobs here. And the thing about that is, if they bring it here, they're, the Fairfax or Manassas or whatever, I think Fairfax or Manassas, I can't remember, either way, is touting that it's going to bring like over 1,000 jobs, and this company is going to be generating all kinds of revenue here, or something like. But the reality, or they're going to bring in all kinds of revenue. The reality is, it's like a multi-billion-dollar company. They're getting massive tax breaks for coming here, for bringing jobs here, for establishing a building here. It's going to increase the traffic a lot, and it's going to make housing more expensive. And the people who are getting jobs, they already have well-paying jobs. They're already highly skilled. So it's kind of the rich getting richer. That's it, and driving everyone else out. So he said, instead of that, that's a bad deal for the area. Let's have a jobs program here, jobs training. And so, hey, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, have jobs training. For some reason, people are like terrified of helping the most marginalized and poor, and people of color and women, because it's like, I think they're scared that they're going to do to white men what white men have been doing to them for centuries in this country. But it's like they can't imagine the people they've ignored and marginalized now having some autonomy and some money and some power and good housing, and having some influence and authority, having a say in their government, having a say in what companies do. So that would be really cool. Have something like that. I don't know if people aren't chatting anymore or what. I don't see a message for the last few minutes, but that's fine. I guess they're not. Head out this way. But it's pathetic how, like, there's so many, like, opportunities that are like, they're right there. They're the easiest, the simplest, smartest things to do, and we don't want to do them. Why? We'd rather enrich ourselves, think about ourselves. Pretend that the people who are exploited by the system are the ones at fault for their own exploitation. Oh, they should have worked harder. They should have gone to a $100,000 college. They should have held down 2 jobs and never gotten sick and moved in with 5 roommates. And they should have had parents who had more money, basically, is what they're saying. Huh, that hurts. 'Cause my parents right now are really in need. You guys you haven't seen it yet. My mom's ceiling, the ceiling on the porch, it's totally torn out because she needs it all replaced. It's going to cost a lot of money. What's up, K-Dubs? Hey, K-Dubs, you recognize where I am? Nice little shopping center out here. I've been ranting about how the city of Fairfax apparently made it illegal for this homeless facility / church for people to sleep in their cars there. So they used to be able to. I read a news article about it. I contacted them last night. I said, hey, can I sleep in my car? Can I still sleep in my car there? They said, unfortunately, due to city regulations, we can't allow that. So they're not trying to make the city affordable. They're trying to make it so no one who can afford it can be here. Where I used to live in Arizona, the county used to hire homeless people to paint the curbs. Hey, I'll take a little extra money. Granted, I'm not in as desperate a situation, but I'm working right now, and I'm working my job and trying to save money. And maybe I can, I don't know, with the mad scientist, maybe I can get some work with him. I don't know, like, you know, he's a handyman. He knows how to fix a lot of stuff. Fix up houses, watches, electronics, or not electronic, what was I saying? Electrical system. He's an electrician. All kinds of, he knew how to fix my car so easily. I showed him a YouTube video too about fixing the SRS, the safety belt, the airbag sensor, I mean. He was able to fix that no problem with one wrench. And we went to that junkyard. He took out the seatbelt buckle from a similar Honda, took it out of there. He had to take the whole seat out and everything, took it out in the rain, put it in my car. So simple. Cost $20 for the seatbelt buckle, and it would have cost $300 if I ordered it, or if I paid a mechanic to do it, because they would have ordered the part from Honda, and that's $300 seatbelt buckle. So I was talking about last night. I went to, for anyone who missed it, I went to Ballston Mall, around there, and very rich area too. And there were 2 homeless guys sitting on the bus stop. There's a lot of bus stops there, you know, there's the metro. So 2 homeless guys sitting there. I say, hey, you hungry? They're like, yeah, sure. I said, what do you want from, like, I'll get a sandwich at Dunkin' Donuts. It's a ham and cheese sandwich. So I got them that and some vitamin water. Too much sugar in that, but nice to have something sweet. But one guy was talking to me more. He was real nice, saying thank you. And he said he's got an eye problem, which was visible on his eye, and he's got arthritis. So he goes to the hospital to sleep and get treatment. I said, well, do you go to a regular doctor, or do you just go to the emergency room? He said, I just go to the emergency room. And I said, do they let you sleep there, or how does that work? He said, sometimes they let me, sometimes not. Depends. One time he said they kicked him out at 5 a.m. When he was trying to sleep there. Another time his friend who was sitting next to him, when he went in, they kicked him out. The first guy I was talking to, because, I don't know, I guess they needed the space or something. But I'm wondering, is this saving us any money? Like, is this helping anyone out? The fact that a guy has to go to the emergency room anytime he's sick rather than go to just a doctor and have an appointment? We know it's way more expensive to staff an emergency room and have it ready and have everybody ready on call at any time, emergency surgeons. We know it's way more expensive. Would it really be more expensive to just have some system in place where people like him can get regular treatment, even if he can't afford it? Yeah, that's right, especially because he can't afford it. Not even like it has to be some exception to how we do things, but especially because he can't afford. Do we want people getting sick, running up hospital bills, not being able to get proper treatment, being depressed, being on the street? It was raining, it was cold yesterday. Do we want that? Does that make any sense for anybody? This guy could have a nice place to sleep in, and he knows about the shelter. I asked, like, do you know about the shelter by courthouse? Him and his friend, they said, yeah, we know about, but he doesn't sleep in there. He's like, too much drama there. And that's true. I've read, like, shelters aren't for everybody. So instead, and what I've heard some city was doing, I can't remember where it was, but they said because hepatitis was breaking out so much among homeless people, that the city was finally like doing had some kind of preventative measure in place to prevent hepatitis. Was it hepatitis? Yeah, I think so. Because it was costing the city so much to get these people treated, so it's much cheaper to prevent it. It's like, yeah, stop trying to like go and stomp out every single individual problem, and actually have a system in place that works for the people who need it the most. Everybody wins. You save money, you have your dignity. I don't think someone loses their dignity because they're not treated well or they're ignored, but the rest of us lose our dignity when you don't treat someone well. So you have your dignity when you treat people well, when you think of a smart system. By the way, it's you can brag about it too. You can be like, hey, we have the safest city to live in, the most affordable. We have a city that treats our most vulnerable people, our sickest, homeless, the least able, disabled, people who have been ignored for so long or brutalized by the system, black people, immigrants, women, LGBTQ people, all kinds of people who've been marginalized and their education systems haven't been funded properly. And as we see it, first of all, landlords make it difficult to live anywhere cheaply. I was reading an article about a landlord who evicted a woman, sued to evict her because her son committed suicide in their apartment, and he fired a gun to kill himself. And landlord said that this was a criminal activity, so that breaks the terms of her lease. And she tried to fight it for a little bit, but then she just left. And that's what a ton of tenants did. This was in DC. So in DC and Baltimore, I was reading this article about landlords that do this incredibly shady stuff and claim they have to. They're like, well, we have to. It's just otherwise the housing and urban development won't give us won't give us our subsidies or whatever if our tenants don't make rent, and if they break the terms of the lease. But they had a HUD spokesperson saying, we've never done that. Yeah, like technically the rules are written like that, but we've never done that. We've never punished people for that or recommended or withdrawn whatever it is, subsidies, because someone didn't. Sorry, I'm getting my trash here. I'm going to recycle these plastic bags at the grocery store. That we've never punished a landlord for doing that or withdrawn subsidies. So these were, by the way, poor people. They were living in subsidized apartments, which even with the subsidies are so expensive. It's like the subsidy was paying for most of $1,100 apartments, and people were getting sued for eviction over sometimes like $50 unpaid rent, $25 unpaid rent. One case it was $18, and so the people were saying, what happens to these people? Well, this is basically segregation, because you're primarily poor black people who now, when they can't live there, have to move to even poorer neighborhoods. And because the apartment was being renovated for higher income housing, and so the landlord, the easiest thing to do is just sue people into eviction. Most people won't want to fight it. Most will have no idea how to fight it. And so that drives people to poor neighborhoods. Poor get poorer, rich get richer. And what's the advantage of that? Where's the dignity? I don't see how that guy can live with himself. That landlord can do that. How pathetic and shameless. Why would he not say, treating people right, it's worth way more than that money? How could he not say that to himself? What a disgusting system. So, but that's, I guess, what it takes to be a landlord. Let's see. I'm looking for, I saw it earlier. else do I have in my pocket? Oh, this stuff I need. Whatever, I'll throw that away later. Oh, up here. So that's how it works. Just keep making, basically criminalize poverty, criminalize homelessness. All right, I'm gonna recycle this bag, then I better get going. Or is it inside the store? Wait, this isn't the grocery store. This is Marshall's. But so far, no major problems for me. Like I said, this gym I'm going to is luxury. Can't believe it, how nice the showers are. Alright, there's going to be some music, I think, soon, so I don't want to get that on camera. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you later.